Hey there, Soulshites. It's Michelle here, and I'm inviting you to wake up and live. And I am miserable. There was a family reunion I went to yesterday, and Utah is just full of the smoke from the fires on the West Coast. And because of that, and my reaction to pollutions in the air, I'm feeling miserable. The sore throat, the super runny nose, the headache, the achy, the everything. Ugh. It's my worst part of fire season. Fires are scary, and last year was horrible. But it's this part that, personally for me, I really don't like. I do appreciate that we're getting the smoke in a way, as weird as that is. It reminds me that there are things going on outside of myself. It reminds me that there are places in the world that are going through things that I'm not. So, and I apologize if you could hear my daughter singing. I told her I was making a video, but she's enjoying songs. So I did pull a card today because I'm committed to doing this. So even though I'm miserable, I'm making my video. I make these the day before, so this is Sunday, and I will post Monday morning. But anyway, if you could see that, it's a secret language of light. Transmissions from Your Soul by Denise Jarvie. I really love these decks. My daughter says that this deck, she's just still in awe that this deck sounds like me, as she put it. So the card that I pulled today, we can see that, it's called Insight. And I read through the booklet that came with it because I wasn't really quite sure what to do, what to say with being miserable. My insight's a little bit wonky. And hopefully the audio is working okay. I have my weird plug or hooked on because the audio yesterday was horrible. The computer, I tried downloading a new software, and now it's having bugs, so I'm coming back to this software hoping that I'm trying. I want to give you guys good videos. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. This is what happens when you claim to be a YouTuber. The world says, are you sure you want to be a YouTuber? Let me show you all the technical difficulties you will get. And then I say, you know what? I'm doing it anyway because I am a YouTuber. I'm claiming it. I'm a YouTuber. And I'm going to pause this video for a moment. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know if you guys could hear my daughter, but I could, and it was distracting me. Sometimes I have a friend who walks in, and if the TV's on, he'll hey everybody. And he stares at the TV. He even admits this. And they're like, did you want something? And he's like, yeah. And he can't remember really what it is because he's back watching the TV again. I don't really get the visual distraction like that, but holy cow, I'm super distracted by noises around me. She's still singing down there, and I'm just like, oh, I can do this. I can stay focused. Okay, back to the card. Sorry, it's just so... Let's focus. So the card is Insight, and the book talked about maybe it's time to learn more about your insights, your psychic gifts, intuitive gifts, whatever you want to call them. Maybe it's time to take a course or a workshop on developing them. One of the thoughts that I had is I feel like it's really important to set clear intentions before you take a class, that only the God of the Most Highs or the highest truths, however you want to word it for your own belief system, only that highest, purest truth can be taught in the class. Because as wonderful as we are, we're all human and we put our own philosophies in, and I would rather receive the highest, purest truth when at all possible. So I ask for that intention before I go to any kind of class, unless I forget. And then I regret it. If I don't, I can feel it and I get mad at myself. But so if you're going to learn some kind of class, maybe you want to learn to see energies, maybe you want to learn to communicate with angels, whatever kind of training you're feeling drawn to, that is something you can ask for that intention with. For myself, I'm feeling to step up my intuitive communication with the divine. So as I've talked about, I hear, I also know things, but for the most part, I can't say one's stronger than the other. They're both pretty high. But I hear voices here. And yesterday I was talking to my aunt because she's also into energy and things like that. And our paths are so weird. Like, I learned about the emotion code years ago. I learned about iridology years ago. She learned about the emotion code just like a couple years ago, like after me. And she's learning about iridology now. Like, she's going more in depth than what I learned. But it's like we end up with the same modalities, but completely in different orders. It's so funny. But anyway, she says she hears the angels talking to her in her right ear. Because we were talking about I've had an earache for a week. And so, like, what's going on? And she asked me, where do you hear your mom talking to you? And I hear that stuff over here. And maybe it's because she was saying she hears them over here. And I'm going to tell her this, actually, because it's just coming to me, like, right now. It's like, oh, it makes complete sense. So the angels that have been here and had bodies, she hears on this side. The archangels, she hears on this side. And for me, I haven't really heard anything on this side, but I haven't been really open to listening to the archangels. But I hear from directly above when it's the divine, and higher self kind of stuff goes up here. And then I also have a voice that I feel like is inside of me. And I feel like that's myself talking to myself, like my soul talking to me. It feels different than this. But then I have this chatter out here, and I'm realizing now people are like, this is the masculine side and this is the feminine side. And that is true, but it's also, this is the spiritual side and this is the physical side. And maybe the reason why we are hearing people who have lived on the earth is because they're still connected to the physical world in some way or another. And so it's coming out the physical side versus the spiritual side. That's really fascinating to think about. Apparently you guys needed to know, because that's what came to me just talking about it. Knowing that can be very helpful for me to, I do hear voices on this side, and they are spiritual. Sometimes they're really sweet and kind, and sometimes they're snarly. The snarly ones I get rid of. I'm like, nope, don't want to talk to you. And that's one of my things, is I have had a lot of fear in developing this gift. One that I know I have, but I need that, like, to really step into my purpose here on earth. I need to step into that. But I'm afraid to be hearing the wrong voices or to be following the wrong promptings or things like that. So I have a lot of fear wrapped up around it. And maybe that's what, for me, this card is about. This insight card is saying, Michelle, step into it, let go of those fears, and trust that you're going to know which voices to listen to. How to work with the voices, if there are the more physical voices, how to work with them, if they're, kind of learn how to tell the difference of them. Maybe for you see things and stuff, and it's time for you to get clear on what you're seeing, or to hone that gift to see more. Some people talk to animals. Maybe it's time for you to step up and talk to the animals more. We all love a Dr. Dolittle, right? We all have gifts for a reason, and I think it's really important for us to step into them. So that's kind of the message of today. Remember, everybody, to let your light shine big, bright, love, and beautiful, and I'll see you guys next time.